Okay, hello and welcome to yoga. So today you're going to need a block and a strap just because props are our friends. We are going to be working through this middle area here. So we're going to be looking at glutes and hips. We're going to be working through the quads and hamstrings, okay? So take it easy and work with what your body is presenting today. So let's get started. We're going to sit on a block to begin with, okay? So find that comfortable place, okay? So it might be that your feet are together in butterfly to begin with. So this could be, if this is a little bit triggering for you, then just take a cross-legged position. So we're looking to sit up nice and tall to begin with, okay? So we want to stack our shoulders over the top of our hips. And we just want to start to just draw the core in just a little bit. So check that the ribs aren't flaring, but just draw it in. And we're just going to sit here for a moment. And whilst we are, allow those knees to begin to head down, use gravity in our favor. We're going to take an inhale and just draw those shoulders up towards the ears. Send the shoulders all the way back and down. Find that space through the chest. Let's go again. Draw those shoulders up, roll them all the way back and down. Let's go for another 3 of these. So up, squeeze those shoulders together all the way back down. Last 2 here. And last one, check in with those hips, see if you're drawing them back in. If you are, then find an alternative, maybe propping cushions underneath the knees if you're beginning to strain there. Right, we're going to roll the shoulders the other way now. So we've just been rolling them up and back. We're going to roll them forward and down. So just take those shoulder rolls in a forward direction. I'm going to take 5 of those, working with what you feel comfortable with today. Okay, so from here we're just going to take the right hand up, take the right hand to the other to the left ear, and we're just going to draw that right ear down towards the right shoulder. Meanwhile, still allowing those hips to open, the knees to head down towards the mat. If you notice that you're beginning to hold tension here, then just really purposefully breathe into that hip area. Pay attention to it, okay? I'm trying to distract you with neck looseners, but actually we really want to just use this time to allow the hips to open. Okay, release off that hand. We're going to take the left arm up. Left arm comes over to right ear, and then just taking that left ear down towards the left shoulder. Again, check in with the hips. If you're in a cross-legged position, just switch out those legs. Make sure you've got the other leg leading. Okay, releasing off that grip. From here, we're going to just begin to fold. So this is just about walking those fingertips forward. It's not about getting really low. We're in the very, very early stages here, so we don't want to be pushing too far. But we want to be thinking about lengthening through the crown of the head, okay? Drawing the tummy in and then finding space to fold, okay? So we want to think about this lovely long spine. It's not about how low we can go. It's really not about that. It's about finding that stretch through the spine, finding that space, and then allowing those hips to just gently begin to open. With an inhale, see if you can lengthen just a little bit more through the crown of the head. And with the exhale, can you come just a little bit deeper? One more breath here. Let's inhale. See if we can just find that length. And then exhale, fold just a little bit more. Again, not pushing yourself here. Remember, we should never feel any pain in yoga. It's about accepting what our body is presenting to us right now. Okay, walk those fingertips all the way back up. Okay, going to bring those knees together. Take forehead to knees. Just give yourself a hug together. Round through the spine. Really separate those shoulder blades. Find that length through the neck as you bring chin towards chest. And then gradually unwind, take the block away from your bottom just for a moment. Okay, we're going to sit here now. This is going to depend on how comfortable you are. So I'm going to give you alternatives here. So we're going to take the left knee under and the right knee on top. If you are comfortable to stack knees, okay, this is going to be a really deep IT band stretch, okay? If that is uncomfortable for you, take the left leg long and just draw that right leg in towards you, just holding onto that thigh, okay? And then again, thinking about lengthening, finding that space, and then really beginning to encourage that stretch through the IT band into the hip and the glute by just giving that right leg a bit of a hug. If you want and you've got space for it, you can just take a little gaze behind you, just a small one, just moving through the body really gently and carefully at the moment. Keep that left heel really pushing away, okay? So you've got two alternatives here. So finding that one that is comfortable for you. Maybe you'll find comfort on one side and then need the alternative on the other. If you're fine in this position, you've got your legs stacked to shoelaces or fire logs, shoelaces. You can walk those fingertips forward and find that stretch there, okay? So just hanging out here for a moment. A slow and steady class today, really working into those tight areas. With everything in yoga, we try and use that breath. So as we inhale, we move away from the body. And as we exhale, we come back into the body, finding that room. Okay, we're going to just make our way back up again. Depending on where you are, we're going to switch those legs out. So we've got the right leg underneath, or perhaps you've got that right leg long, left, no, the other way around. Right leg comes across and you're hugging in, okay? So find that alternative, the other one, okay? So one more time, sitting up nice and straight. If you're here, really, if you've got the leg across you, really draw that thigh in towards you. See if you can move that belly out of the way, sitting up nice and tall, and really use that bicep just to draw that leg in towards you. Pushing through the heel of the foot, the extended foot, keeping that calf, that quad switched on. And then if you're in your shoelaces position, you can always walk those fingertips away from you, finding that space. So I challenge you now just to breathe into the hips. Notice where you are beginning to draw tension. So maybe the kneecaps lifting a little bit, maybe the shoulders are lifting towards the ears, maybe the glutes are switching on because they're a little bit uncomfortable. Just send some breath towards the hips, become aware of that. Try and release that tension. One more breath here. And then walk those hands back in. Okay, unwind wherever you are at. We're just going to take the feet from underneath us, okay? We're going to turn the toes under. We're going to sit back onto the heels, all right? So I'm going to just turn so you can face me a little bit. Turn those toes under. If this is really intense through the Achilles, through the underneath of the foot, then just take the weight into the hands. If you're fine with it, you can come up to a more of an upright position. And then whilst we're here, take those opposite elbows, find that really nice space around the ears. So just releasing those shoulders back and down. We don't want to be wearing earmuffs. Draw the core in so the ribs aren't flaring. Think here about sending those elbows back. Okay, swap over that elbow grip. Anything to distract us from this slightly more uncomfortable pose. Take that gaze down towards the tummy, bringing chest, chin to chest, not chest to chin. That would be a funny way of doing it. And then release off that elbow grip. Take the weight into the hands and then just tap out those toes nice and gently. Okay, coming to sit back onto the shoelace side of those feet now, okay? Taking the weight back into the hands, just lifting through the knees. Feel that stretch down the front of the legs. If you are comfortable here, okay, and if you are comfortable here, and you can always go back to this position if you want, you can always take the hands together, bring those hands together, and think here about pushing hands into one another, lifting through those elbows. Feeling that core working for us, keeping us nice and secure. And if it ever gets too much, just take the weight back into the hands again. Okay, drawing those knees back down, take the weight into the hands, just tap out those feet one more time. Excuse me. Okay, from here, coming into our tabletop position. Okay, so we're going to work through a more dynamic pose. Okay, so as we inhale, drop the tummy gazing up, sit bones, think about moving from the pelvis, sit bones come high, and then rotating through that spine, really beginning to push the spine towards the ceiling. And then just working with your own breath here, putting a little bit of a forward and backwards motion in here. Okay, nice way to warm up through the wrists. Beginning to bend through the elbows as well. Get that strength as you push back up. Okay. And then when you're ready, we're going to take the right leg away and keep those toes connected to the mat, okay? Coming through our Superman. So really to begin with, we're just going to be pushing that heel away. Check in with the core, make sure that the core is drawn in, okay? We don't want that dip in the lower spine. We want to be nice and solid. So pushing through the heel, checking in with the calf. Okay. Lifting through the glute, take that right leg up. Take the left arm alongside the ear. Reaching forward with the fingertips, pushing back with the heel. Taking it wide, keep the body over the center line of the mat. Back to center, elbow to knee, draw it in. Send it away. We'll do 3, so we've got 2 more to go. Take it wide. And back to center, draw it in, elbow to knee. Last one on this side, take it wide, keeping that glute strong, lifting that right leg, back to center, and then elbow to knee. And take it away again. Okay, from here, take that left arm down. We're going to take the right knee down and kick that right leg out as a kickstand. Take the left leg long, come into gate. Okay, so we're going to sweep that arm all the way over, turning the chest up towards the ceiling. Find that lovely opening, pushing through the pinky edge side of that left foot. Imagine you can draw this beautiful sweeping line from the fingertips all the way down to that little pinky toe. And then take that left arm back up again. From here, take the left leg up. Finding that strength here, keeping that left leg lifted. And then bend at the knee, take hold of the foot and come into that really nice, almost a modified dancer pose. So we're pushing through the hips, finding that quad stretch, really deep stretch here, opening through the chest still. Maybe if you've got the movement in the neck, you can gaze up towards the ceiling as well. Taking your time here. Thinking about the squeeze of the glutes, pushing the hips forward. And then releasing, take the leg long again, keep it lifted. Left arm stays up, nice and strong. And then coming down into our table. Keep the left toes connected to the mat now, pushing through the heel on this side. Taking a moment here just to find that stretch all the way down the hamstring, all the way down the calves. Okay, core draws in, lifting through that left leg, pushing through the heel, no lazy legs. And then take the right arm alongside the ear, reaching forward, pushing back. Draw that core in, make sure we don't have a dip in the lower spine. We want to be solid. like a, I want to say a tree, but the tree has fallen. Let's go just a superhero. Okay, from here, we're going to take it wide, back to center, and then elbow to knee. Let's go again. Take it wide, back to center, and elbow to knee. Last one here, take it wide, check in with the core, check in with the body. Are you over the center line still? Back to center, elbow to knee. Okay, perfect. Take that right hand down, left knee comes down, turn that left foot out as a kickstand, right leg comes long, and then sweep that right arm all the way over. Push through the pinky edge side of that right foot, maybe turning chest up towards the ceiling a little bit, rolling that shoulder back and down. Glutes keeping you stable. And then the right arm comes up. We're going to lift through that right leg, find the strength. Then bend at the knee, take hold of the shoelace side of that right foot, rolling that shoulder back and down, squeezing through the glutes, pushing through the hips. Find that really nice deep quad stretch. Keep breathing. Going to hang out here for about another 2 breaths. Okay, here we go. Extend through that leg. Keep that leg lifted. Right arm reaches up. We're going to hold it here. And then take the knee down, take the hand down. From here, toes come together. We're going to take the knees as wide as the mat, come into a child's pose, a wide-legged child's pose. So sinking the bottom back onto the heels, walk the hands forward, rest the forehead on the mat. Okay, so find that length through the spine. Allow the hips to open here. Okay, so we're going to start to move into frog, another really deep hip opener. So from here, lifting the bottom, okay, we're on the forearms. We're going to take the feet so that they're tracking the knees, and we're just going to begin to find that comfortable edge for us. Okay, so your hips and knees are in line, your ankles and knees are in line, and you want to find this really deep frog. Okay, the more in line your hips and knees are, the more intense it will feel. So if you need to shift your weight forward a little bit, then go ahead and do that. If you want to put cushions, bolsters, whatever it is under your tummy, then go ahead and do that. If it feels comfortable for you to take a little bit of a rock backwards and forwards, and again, I challenge you to breathe into that hip space. Focus in on where the tension is being held, and then find the edge and just relax into it. Okay, from here we're going to rock forward, just bring those toes together and then bring those knees together. Come into a child's pose now. So a narrow leg child's pose, forehead to the mat, take the arms behind you, palms up, allow the shoulders to melt over the top of the knees. And then if like me, you want to take a little bit of a rock from side to side, that feels a little bit nicer on the hip area, go ahead. And then slowly, carefully unraveling yourself. We're going to come into our table now, okay? So from here, we're going to tuck those toes. We're going to engage the core and hover the knees just for a moment, okay? And then we're going to just shift the weight forward and back for a moment or two, just playing around with our center of gravity, feeling that core working. As much as we hate core work, it's so essential for everything that we do. And then when you're ready, we're going to send bottom towards heels, lengthen through the spine, start to send the sit bones up towards the sky. Thinking about just moving that pelvis up. So you're really beginning to send the sit bones up. And then begin to lower those heels towards the mat. Remember, it's an intention, it's not a necessity. Take a deep bend into the knees if you need to. I prefer to take a deep bend into my knees to begin with. I feel like it gets a really great stretch down the Achilles. And then begin to pedal out the heels one by one. Really wiggle through the bottom. Find the release through the lower spine, through the Achilles, through the calves, and then come to rest in your down dog. Okay, from here, just take the right leg high, stack the hips and drop that back knee down, really squeezing through the glutes to push the hips forward. And then take that right foot all the way down to the outside of that right hand, finding your lizard here. So we're going to start to just begin to move into that hip space. So you might want to put a little bit of a rock forward and backwards. For me, it feels really good. If it doesn't feel good for you, then just stay stationary. Okay, from here, I'm going to drop that back knee and untuck the toes. Okay, we're going to come into our low lunge, bringing those arms high. We're going to squeeze on the glutes and come out of that low lunge, okay? So lifting, thinking here about this active passive stance. So thinking here about the glutes switching on, and then release the glutes, allow the hips to move forward and down. Engage the glutes to lift and release, allowing those hips forward and down. Last one here, engage those glutes to lift and then release forward and down. Come into a twist here. Left hand comes to the outside of the right knee. We're going to take the right hand behind us, lifting, lengthening through the crown of the head, and exhale, gazing over the right shoulder. Remembering to breathe. Coming back all the way back round. Take the hands back to the mat, tuck the back toes, take the right leg back to join the left. Come to your downward facing dog. Take those nice deep bends through the knees, wiggle through the hips, find the release through the lower back, calves, hamstrings, Achilles, and then pause in your down dog. Okay, left leg comes high now. Stack the hips, bend through that back knee, squeezing the glutes, pushing those hips forward, find the stretch. And then left leg comes all the way to the outside of that left hand. And again, moving into this hip space. So maybe a bit of a move left, right, maybe little circles, find that release. Noticing here whether it was tighter on one side than the other. There were any areas that you were finding a little bit difficult, maybe if you were more fluid, if there was an area that felt a little bit tighter than the others. Okay, we're going to drop through that back knee and untuck those toes. Going to come into our low lunge now on the left side. So take the arms up, release those pinky fingers towards one another, just draw those shoulders back down. And then engage the glutes. So we're just going to be lifting just a little bit. And then as we release the glutes, come a little bit lower. Engage glutes to lift. And lower. Engage glutes to lift. And then lower. Okay. Hands come down to the mat. We're going to, oh no, we haven't come into our twist, have we? Right hand comes to the outside of that left thigh, left hand comes behind. We begin to inhale, lengthen towards the ceiling, and exhale, gazing behind us. Find that twist. Coming back to center, take the hands back to the mat. We're going to tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, take the left foot back to join the right, and then just walk out those hips again, walk out those heels. Okay, from here, we're going to just step or jump to the top of the mat and then take a about hip width stance. So your feet are about hip width apart. Take a deep bend into the knees, plant the chest on top of the thighs, and just take a moment here in this really nice, heavy hanging position. So finding here, your hamstrings are getting this really great stretch as you begin to turn those sit bones up towards the ceiling. Check in with the neck, make sure that you're not holding tension. Allow it to be nice and relaxed. And then begin to sway through the hips from left to right. Okay. And then coming back up, we're going to start to straighten through those legs. Keep a micro bend into the knees. And then from here, I'm just going to take a bend into the right knee. As we take a bend into the right knee, I'm going to take the right hand down towards the mat and lift through that left arm. So we're going to get a really deep stretch into the IT band on the left side now. If you've got the balance for it, you can gaze towards the left fingertips. Maybe if you've got space, take the hand all the way round to wrap and touch the top of that right thigh. Okay, left hand comes back down. From here, just chest comes towards thighs again. Take that deep bend, reset. And then straighten back through those legs. We're going to take a bend into that left leg now. Okay, so we're going to start to feel that stretch down the IT band and into the hip of the right side. Take the left hand down and then lift through that right hand now. If you are super flexible, you can be stood on a block now just to lift you just that little bit higher, so you've got further to take the hand down towards the mat. But that's if you're super flexible. Maybe taking that top hand all the way behind you to touch the top of that left thigh, if you fancy it. Just opening up through that right shoulder. Okay, taking that right hand all the way down now. Take a deep bend into the knees. Take the head towards the mat. Just allow the neck to hang heavy as you shake the head yes, nod the head no. Okay, very carefully, we're just going to come down to a seated position on our mat. So it's been very hip focused today. So we're going to lay down, okay? And then from here, just take that right ankle, cross it over that left knee. So we're going to come into reclined pigeon now. So this might be enough. If you're feeling really tight through the hips, this could be enough for you. If you've got a little bit more to give, then just draw that left knee in and then interlace those fingers behind that left knee. And that leaves your right elbow to just start to use leverage to begin to push down onto the right knee. So check in with the shoulders here. What we want to do is encourage them to be flat against the mat rather than rounding up, okay? So still pushing through the heels on both sides. Drawing the knee in towards you. And then releasing off. I'm going to take that left foot down, take the right foot down, and then just windscreen wiper those legs from side to side. Feel that nice release into the lower spine. And then we're going to reset. This time, left leg crosses over right. And then again, like I said before, this might be enough for you. If you've got more, take the hands, interlace them behind that right knee, and then just begin to draw that knee in towards the body. Start pushing through the heels on both sides. That left elbow can be used to open up through that left hip. And then again, check in with the shoulders. Are they up right near your ears? And if they are, can you encourage them down to lay flat? Last moment here. Okay, releasing off here. Okay, so we're going to come into happy baby. So just drawing those knees in towards you, just take the outside of the feet and then take those not elbows, knees in towards the armpits. And then if you're comfortable, you can start to put some little circles from side to side, maybe one way and the other. And then from here, just drawing those knees in towards the body, giving yourself a big hug together. Then just take the right leg long, take that left, interlace the hands or fingers just below that left knee, draw that knee in towards you. Find that little pinch. Be pushing through the heels of both feet. Right hand comes to the outside of that left knee, take it across the body. Left arm comes long, looking over those left fingertips. Coming into a little twist. And then making your way back to center, extend that left leg, gonna draw that right knee in towards you, interlace those fingers just below the knee. Find that little pinch. Heels pushing down. And then release off. Left hand comes to the outside of the thigh, take that thigh across the body, and then just take the right fingers away from you, maybe gazing over them too, if the neck is comfortable with it. Okay, last breath here. Just draw those knees in towards you, finding any movements or adjustments that you might need to before we finish. And then when you're ready, some rock and rolls up and down on the spine. And then we have finished. So I hope that you are feeling much, much looser in the hips, the glutes, the quads, the hamstrings, all of it really. I'm hoping that this whole section is feeling a lot looser and you are a lot more comfortable and free to get on with all of the activities that you love. Right, I look forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.